Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 32Boys1Cup continues as we get into game number 2. It's currently 1-0 for the player spawning in the top right corner of the map. The red Zerg player, Departure. Of course, playing for MVP.
Along with everyone else, right?
Right.
In the bottom left, as the blue Protoss, it's Stork from Samsung Galaxy.
You know, we always make that joke about MVP, so I actually took the time to go look and see who's actually on MVP's roster. It's not that big, so I guess it's just the guys we keep running into over and over again.
Well, yeah, because it was all those teamless Koreans beforehand, right? So we're used to maybe if we were casting them, we didn't have to say anything. So now that we're finally casting them, we have to actually like make note, and well, they usually just went to MVP. So
it's one of those things where you don't notice it until someone points it out, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
But alright, so I mean, one of the things here, we saw a really good game out of Departure last game. I mean, there's some jokes in chat. I saw some people say like, "Oh, the only way he beat Ravens was Swarm Host because you can't beat Swarm Host." Blah, blah, blah. Maybe that happened. We don't know. But I think what we saw out of Departure was a really nice control of his army, assessment on what to do. And even though I made the joke last game, like he was kind of quick to pull his drones, like he's really antsy, just throw them away. That was part of the defense. Like if he had never pulled those around that natural fight, he probably would have straight up died. So. Yeah. Decision making, maybe it was just luck, whatever you want to view it as. I really enjoyed watching Departure that game. Showed us definitely a good way to make Ling Hydra work.
Yeah, when you see drones pulled after the army dies, you're always just like, what do you expect to do? But you see it pulled with an army, that's actually doing something for your army, providing that fodder. And especially with the Ling Hydra army, where you're running out of Lings, you have to gotta wait for 40 more Lings. Drones fill the same role. They're not very strong necessarily. They probably die before they really do anything, but they soak up a lot of hits. Yeah.
I think, yeah, it says Lings have that weird dynamic where, like, sometimes you watch them and you're like, wow, how are these so good? Like, why are my Lings not as good as this guy's Lings? And then sometimes you watch them and you're like, oh, did those exist? Were those hallucinations? What?
Yeah. But in both cases, they usually do something for the Zerg. Oh, well, we had the drone scout, I believe. Yes, we did. So we knew that he could do this hatch before pool.
Yeah. This is funny, dude, because for a long time, you remember, like, this was the build. Like, every Zerg player would just do 3-hatch gas pool every map. They could get away with it. Frost especially comes to mind. But, again, the way the game's evolved, the way we've seen aggression sort of turn out, you can't really always get away with this. Especially with how much more frequent cannon rushes became over the last year. But as you point out, he gets that really nice scout, so safe and sound.
Yeah. Responses versus responses versus responses. And in the end, if you drone scout, you can actually kind of do whatever you want to, like, the first 4 minutes, I would say. Yeah. There's always the chance that you don't scout correctly, like you only scout the natural or something, and the forge is in the main, because that's something that's also kind of new and really, really risky, but certainly can catch a 3-hatcher off guard. Damn, 3-hatchers.
Yeah, I can never tell whether I have used a gun in this game. Oops, sorry guys. But okay, so what do you think comes out of Stork this time? Last time, obviously, that weird all-in. I mean, part of me thinks like maybe it had to do with Catalina, because everyone just talks about how much they hate playing on that map, but we see that through vetoes often.
Actually,
so maybe.
Can we talk about Catalina? Actually, okay. So he went for a Blink Stalker all-in, and you're like, well, maybe it's because Catalina. Did he actually abuse Catalina? No? Why didn't he just like try and like, blink it in the main?
Yeah, we never saw it used around like the ramps and stuff, like or not the ramp, that big ledge outside the main.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing, like maybe his thought process was just simply all in. It's Catalina, I don't want to have to deal with this. I mean, I don't know what Stork was actually thinking for that game, but that's my best guess because, I mean, again, people just hate that map.
I feel like, well, what Departure was doing was going to be like a pretty strong attack against someone who was trying to macro too. And Catalina is not liked in PvZ because of that. We saw it a little bit. Okay, Stork was already kind of losing by that point, but he tried to go down his ramp to get to his third, and there's a huge area for a concave. It's very abusable. Yeah. So you just don't want to play in that map. But like, I feel like he could have just abused the ridge more. But Departure, I think, also just kind of got lucky with the builds, the compositions crossing as they were. He's getting Ling speed right now. He's getting a Roach Warren. Could only be for safety, or he could be looking to pile on some pressure to a potential really fast third, and it is a fast third from Stork. 7 minutes.
It's so hard to defend this. I mean, this is always a weird gauge to make. We see so many times Protoss players will take this when they don't have the army to actually defend it. And I guess the thing that does work out for him is Departure doesn't have you know, tunnelings on the map. He didn't make 24. He's not going to come attack us sometime soon. And of course, there's a couple of sentries here. So as long as you can get that cannon up and that SimCity going, this base should get down. But again, it's never easy, nor is it fun trying to do that. Really like cannon here to the front of the wall.
Twilight Council. To be expected, as he has that +1, he wants to get that +2 going, as well as Blink. Departure went up to a lair, but everything else is really just very, very standard. You know, lair timing, Evo timing.
I mean, the Blink, it's such a standard part of the matchup now. It definitely didn't used to be, but it's kind of like fighting Terran. Like, you want Blink to catch, you know, the chance of anything. We see in, of course, PvZ more than anything, Blink is used more to, like, retain your units than, like, Blink underneath, like, an Overlord to catch it or as such. But let's not forget, like, it's one of those in-between builds that's really good for catching mutas should there be a swap. And that just happens so often. You know, you see the muta swap come in, Zerg players catch the Protoss off guard, suddenly the probes are dead, third base is under attack, you can never move out because you're constantly defending, and we rarely even see Phoenixes come out in time to defend stuff like that. So I mean, the Blink openers here, it's less about like me thinking he's going for some sort of all-in, and definitely more on just kind of this nice catch-all build.
We have a lot of roaches on the way. Departure invested into a +1 melee, so I think a big Link swamp is to come following this shortly. It is getting a 4th, so it's not like it's no idea. It's super...
Well, it's not only a 4th, it's a macro hatchery in the main too, so I mean, this is a lot of larvae to work with.
I mean, he's really looking to pile on that pressure. Blink has not been started. There it goes. Blink +2. The Robo is coming out as well, but will everything be prepared in time? I mean, the gateway wall's there, so that's looking pretty strong. The right side's kind of, you know, pretty covered, especially now with 2 cannons.
We saw Party put down like 3 or 4. It actually worked out really well. You know, I always get astonished at how good cannons can be, because you don't see a lot of Protoss players willing to invest in them. Like that static defense element of it's not that appealing.
But they're so good. They take land, air, they see things no one else sees.
Man, if only there was other things that could attack land and air. Oh wait, there's like not.
Yeah, turrets? Oh, wait.
Spore Crawl? Nah. Spine Crawler? Nah.
Whoops. Yeah.
Although, like, I kind of feel like if you gave Spine Crawlers a little bit, a couple extra veggies growing up, it might be tall enough that they could attack air.
Give them more veggies?
Yeah, they didn't know they were broccoli growing up, so...
Like, Kerrigan with like a garden of Spine Crawlers feeding them veggies.
Open up the spine, here comes the plane. Okay, nice force fields coming out of Stork for the start of this fight, but the Roaches still in range. She's got to back up a little bit. Like, what good is force fielding? Well, not even blink, but like, what good is force fielding if you fight within range of the Roaches on the other side of the force field, right? Like, the whole idea is you use that as your advantage. Stork finally is going to blink here in just a moment, but it's still about 10 seconds off, and this is going really poorly. Departure has just swamped him entirely.
Well, that was hellish. Oh god.
He's got Chrono Boost on the gateways. He's trying to get more out right now, but Blink finally done, but only with 3 stalkers in play. No good.
With 10 gateways. I actually think Stork was about to go for like that Blink-O-Lin that we saw Farting do too. Like, oh, this hit at a really great time.
Man, this could have, I mean, this was like seriously a matter of timing. Departure getting on top of this when he did. Had this been like 10 seconds later, 20 seconds later, like we would have had Blink involved with the fight. But the most critical upgrade for these stalkers, it didn't complete till it was like long over. Now he does trade out big army for big army, but we'll note only about 10 probes died in that fight. So, I mean, was that really that devastating?
I think so. The Muta follow-up is going to be like, you know, 2-3 times as hard to actually deal with now because he doesn't have enough Blink Stalkers at all to go between base to base, you know, and he barely has enough money to mass warp into the Mutas go straight for the main either, so it's going to be very difficult. I mean, this wall is really going to help out. He's going to be able to keep, you know, just a couple of units over here, and they'll be able to take care of the Lings, but like, you know, you got to decide, okay, where are the Mutas going, where are the Lings going, and then, you know, that's two different responses.
He doesn't even know it's Mutas is the problem. Like, this is absolutely going to sideswipe him. And even if he could segment anything off to deal with these, like, the Roaches and the Lings are too much. Sentries aren't going to stop that. But on Overcharge isn't going to stop the Mutas. This is all sorts of messy coming down here for Stork, and... well, we're not going to have a... it's looking less likely we're going to have a mirror matchup in the following games.
That's the best thing, though. That's the bright side.
I know. I was kind of looking to see J-Dog versus Departure. Like, I wanted to see how that ZVZ would go, but
actually, I would have liked Farting versus Stork. So.
Ooh, of course, it's a little bit late to the party. Zealots are holding pretty strong. It's this many Lings, but there's still the point of this many Lings. Cannons do what it can. Stork is actually kind of holding once again, and the mutas haven't become that devastating. But they pull the probes out of the main.
That, you know, Departure overcommits to this attack, seeing as how well it goes.
Look how many probes died, though, through 3 different big attacks. Like, 27 in total. Stork's actually done a fantastic job of transferring his probes around and minimizing losses. But, nah, he still realizes it's just not enough. GG. Departure will take the series 2-0. Whoop whoop.